Welcome back, Patriots, for another episode of the Bald Brad Show. It is officially October 14th. We're almost halfway through the month, and Donald Trump is still, by far, not even close, the best president in American history after what he just pulled off with Israel and Hamas. I mean, just the last couple days, Democrats have been coming out of the woodwork saying, yeah, he deserves all the credit. The guy actually did it, something that many presidents weren't able to do before. This guy did it. So now he solved, 7, 8 wars? Now, those are the politicians. What everybody's kind of finding a little bit odd here is, where's all those Free Palestine protesters? And why are they not out in the streets chanting victory on behalf of Donald Trump? And now what they're even coming out and saying is, well, the Palestinians didn't really have a say in this, and I just don't really like the way that it turned out. I'm glad that they're able to go back to their homes. I am not kidding. It's the wildest thing to me that these people hate Trump so much that they're not willing to give the guy credit. Like if something was going on that I didn't like and Joe Biden solved it, I'd be like, yeah, all right, Joe Biden got it. Oh, let's do this example. If Joe Biden figured out the $37 trillions in dollars of debt, then I would have said, okay, heck yeah, like this is what I've been wanting. I wish it was a Republican president, but I'll take what I can get from who I can get it. Thank you. So just kind of a very interesting society that we live in and a world we live in. And I suppose it's not all that different than what everybody else grew up in decades past. But here we have it, folks. Good to see all of you. World leaders laud Trump as a peacemaker as he rallies nation behind Israel and Hamas deal. What a remarkable feat by Donald Trump. And look, he said he was going to do it, man. That's the crazy thing. The guy said he was going to do all this stuff, and he did it. And I don't know. I've always known that he's very good at hospitality. He's very good at complimenting people, bringing people together. As much as the left doesn't believe that's the case, it really is true. The guy's a showman, and he knows how to host people. And that's why I think the Saudis and all these other Arab nations really brought him in with open arms and rolled out the red carpet for the guy, is because they know that he would do the same thing for them. And I think a lot of this has to do with his relationship with everybody that he has over there. And I think that's something that the United States has been lacking in for decades, is having a relationship with the countries over there, because if you don't, well, guess what? Nothing ever gets done. And so finally you have a president that's willing to be friends with people, whether sometimes they're knuckleheads over there, and you progress forward. And I think that's a mistake that a lot of conservatives make, is when he was trying to, and I'm going to put this in air quotes for those on audio, befriend Kim Jong-un of North Korea. You know, there's a tactic behind that of, well, how am I going to negotiate with a guy that hates me? Forward. I would rather negotiate with a guy that thinks that I like him and that I get along with him, or doesn't really know what the hell's going on. And that's why he's calling him Rocket Man and doing all this other stuff going back and forth. Well, check this out. President Donald Trump on Monday signed the historic Gaza peace deal. This is what was going on right when we left our podcast yesterday, and I said I'd cover it today. This is when he was going to Egypt. Surrounded by approving world leaders who celebrated the president as a pivotal peacemaker and called him to receive the Nobel Peace Prize. I don't know how he got snubbed this year. They gave it to some lady I've never heard of. Folks, Patrick Bet David brought this up. Excuse me. And he said that for Barack Obama to have won the Nobel Peace Prize, he would have been nominated 2 weeks into his presidency. It was either 2 weeks or 2 months, one or the other. Basically, there's no time to do anything. Donald Trump has done so much that, truthfully, even if he wasn't nominated, you would still give the guy the Nobel Peace Prize. And then the left comes out and says, oh, how ironic is it that Donald Trump loses to a Venezuelan woman? He got snubbed and all of a sudden the MAGA's so upset. It's like, we're not upset. Why would we, if anything, it just builds more credibility to what we have, that it's a freaking joke of a prize. It's not really for peace because the guy's been creating peace 8 times now versus a woman that hasn't done it at all. Whoa, she rose up against something. It's a big deal, but nothing comparable. Truthfully, it's like I wouldn't even want it if I was him at this point because it's a joke. It's all political. I think you are the man that this world needed most at this point in time, Pakistani Prime Minister told Trump, who listened quietly and attentively. The world will always remember you as a man who did everything and went out of the way to stop 7 and today 8 wars. Remarkable. Not to mention, the Pakistanis, like I mentioned yesterday, just got done going toe-to-toe with the Taliban, which I did not cover yesterday. We'll be covering that right after this. The president met with hostages and their families on Monday after the hostages were released by Hamas, then spoke to the world in public remarks in Israel. He then traveled to Egypt, where he participated in a Middle East peace summit with other world leaders. United States, Egypt, Qatar, and Turkey signed the much-discussed peace deal before the world. It took 3,000 years to get to this point. Can you believe it? Trump said as he signed the historic deal, and it's going to hold up too. I hope it holds up, but here's the thing. We don't know who's the next president of the United States. You can't get another Trump, man. And a lot of people, I mean, how many times have we heard somebody say, well, it's because Trump was able to pull it off. I don't know how he did it, but it's Trump. You know, Trump this, Trump that. Totally true, by the way. But who's going to be the next president that's going to be lax on the Middle East or be lax on the certain countries over there? A little worried. Because it really does. I mean, you having a weak president, like we saw with Joe Biden, creates a destabilized region or world where people think that they can get away with everything. And when evil sees that, the giant's asleep, it's going to take advantage. And quite literally, America was asleep for 4 years and had our heads up, you know what? And I would say some of us still have our heads up, you know what? They're just called the Democrat Party. He also received the Order of the Nile. Has anybody even ever heard of that? The Order of the Nile for the president of Egypt. From the president, rather. The country's highest state of honor for negotiating a deal between Israel and Hamas. The Order of the Nile. It's kind of a cool name. I mean, dude, talk about a cool, Brendan Fraser, The Mummy Returns movie title. The Order of the Nile. One man, Brendan Fraser, comes out of hiding once again. This summer, join us in Egypt, the Nile, the Order of the Nile. You guys remember those old 90 movies trailers? Is a collar made of solid gold covered in pharaonic gravings. Oh, that's kind of cool. It represents the wealth and endurance protection from evil and prosperity brought by the Nile. Let me see this really quick. I want to see what this thing looks like. Give me one moment, folks. I think you're kind of all curious too. Now I'm... But you know what sucks is he doesn't get to keep it. I mean, he does, but it just goes into the archives. Oh, this is cool, man. This is cool looking. Look at that. So the Order of the Nile Grand... Look at that, 1951. That's pretty cool looking. I'll tell you what, old Egyptian stuff is just, it's gorgeous, man. The stuff they were able to make so long ago. Really, I mean, some cultures just have beautiful work. I just wish that, as for another time, but I just wish that Egypt would do more archaeology, get in the pyramids more. That's for spooky adventures and maybe dark MAGA conversation, but I just wish that there's so much there, you know what I mean, that's untapped, unfound. And you got that guy over there, I forgot his freaking name. Never wants to dig anywhere, go into anything. He said it was, he's gone at it toe-to-toe on Piers Morgan before and Joe Rogan. Well, anyways, it says here, today, for the first time anyone can remember, we have a once-in-a-lifetime chance to put the old feuds and bitter hatreds behind us. So true. As he took the podium after signing the deal, if we do together, we will reach the Middle East's incredible destiny, a safe and prosperous and beautiful crossroads of culture and commerce, faith and humanity. I mean, if you go back in history, the Middle East was such a powerhouse of wealth and knowledge. And to see where it's come today is terrible. Now people will go, oh, well, that's the United States. Yeah, that's the United States did that. No, it wasn't. I mean, we had a role later on, but no. That is due to radicalism. And what you can see from that is when people are radicalized, a nation, a region falls apart. I bring that up because you have a lot of people radicalized over here called the progressive left that are now targeting conservatives. Benny Johnson, Charlie Kirk. I mean, heck, not even conservatives anymore. Independent. I think Tim Pool's an independent now. Tim Pool, Joe Rogan's on the radar now. They have a hit list with like Ben Shapiro on it, Michael Knowles, and a bunch of other people. They deleted Charlie Kirk. They've gone after President Trump twice. I mean, they're basically terrorists, right? I mean, Donald Trump is right to call Antifa and the progressive left. They're a terrorist group, man. And I'm not calling Democrats terrorists. No. Please understand. We can actually talk with some of them. I am referring to these lefty psychos, man, that want to delete you. And enough of me trying to go, well, we could still have a conversation with them. We could still debate them and see who has the better ideas. No. We have the better ideas. So do Democrats. Democrats will get their, you know what, beaten up by them too. The left are dangerous, dude. And no, I don't want to be friends with them. I don't want to get along with them. I don't want to know them. I don't want to be around with them. I don't want to invite them over to dinner. They're psychos and there's something wrong with them. And I want to be clear. I am not talking about Democrats. These lefties are psycho, dude. And I'm telling you, folks, you need to be on your guard around these people. They will delete you. Meaning gone. You don't see your family anymore. And I'm not saying to harm them. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you need to have your head on a freaking swivel when you're in a leftist dominated state like California, New York City, or wherever, because these people are crazy, man. They'll poison your freaking food if they can. They're nuts. Nuts. Well, as we mentioned yesterday, there was in India, Pakistan, there was a Taliban-Pakistan conflict that broke out. And I want to make sure that we have a little bit of time to talk about that today because, well, I missed it yesterday. We ran out of time. And that, truthfully, it happens every now and then. So let's get a good article here. Believe it or not, we're going to pull up the Guardian, who actually we used to use quite often before we were using the Daily Wire for a lot of our stuff. It says here, heavy clashes erupt along Pakistan-Afghanistan border. Intense clashes erupted along the Pakistan-Afghanistan border on Saturday night after an attack by the Afghan Taliban on Pakistani military posts led to a heavy exchange of fire and reportedly left dozens of soldiers dead. I've heard there was like 50 people deleted, or sorry, almost close to 60, like 58, 60, something like that. According to officials, Afghan troops opened fire on Pakistani armed army posts along the northwestern border with Pakistan on Saturday night and seized several of the posts. The attacks came after the Taliban regime in Afghanistan accused Pakistan of carrying out airstrikes on Afghan territory, including the capital, Kabul, earlier this week. Well, on Sunday, so all that took place on Saturday, allegedly. Then on Sunday, Pakistan responded with retaliatory strikes, gunfire, and ground raids on Afghan Taliban posts along the border. In a statement, the media wing of the Pakistan military said 23 soldiers had been killed and another 29 wounded in the attacks. They claim that 200 Taliban and affiliated terrorists from the Afghan side were killed in their retaliatory strikes and that terrorist training camps had been dismantled. This is where, when you're Donald Trump, you sit back and you let them go at it. You let them delete each other. Because remember, Pakistan was the one that said with a mile, was it not Barack Obama, the Osama bin Laden, the compound was what, like a mile, like 300 feet from the military base there in Pakistan for like years. Yeah, I had no idea the guy was there. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, you found him there? Really? Okay. Yeah, no idea. Sure. So if you're like, Brad, the Taliban sounds so familiar to me. Aren't those the guys that we went toe to toe with for like 2 decades? Yeah, it will be those guys. Aren't those the guys that blow themselves up? Yes, it is. It absolutely is. Aren't those the guys that Joe Biden left billions of dollars of military-grade equipment to? Hueys, Blackhawks, Little Birds, tanks, Humvees, munitions, different firepower. Yes, it is. Oh, absolutely it is. Because you might be thinking, where are they getting all this stuff from to go after Pakistani sites? That's weird. We gave it to him. Brad, isn't this the Taliban that Joe Biden was giving $80 million to every 2 weeks for years? To the point where he was actually paying family members of the Taliban that deleted American soldiers. It is the that's the same one. Absolutely. It is. You're correct. Yeah, absolutely. I told you Democrats love funding terrorism. What's my proof? The $80 million every 2 weeks. Now you could say that was still going on under the Trump administration, which is true. Don't like it. I'd also like to point out that they're also helping fund all these protests that are getting violent. How are these people that don't have jobs, they're overweight, losers, don't have health insurance because they're able-bodied people that want to sit on mom and dad's couch all day and play video games? Where are they getting all this riot gear and all these gas masks that cost money and all this other stuff? Where are they getting all that stuff from? And where are they now for all this peace? I was told Donald Trump's a Nazi. And he's going to start World War III is what I was told for years. Weren't we all told that? If Donald Trump gets in office, he's going to start World War III. The world's going to be in chaos. Everybody's going to lose it. It's like the complete opposite. I mean, the world's always in chaos. Doesn't matter what you do. Solved it. So Pakistan responds. In a statement, the media wing said that 23 people were deleted. But look at this. The Taliban spokesperson had earlier claimed that Taliban forces deleted about 60 Pakistani soldiers in the attacks, while just 9 from the Taliban side were deleted themselves. The clashes signaled a new low in Afghan-Pakistan relations, which have become increasingly hostile amid claims that Afghanistan is giving a safe haven to Islamic militants, carrying out an escalating number of deadly attacks on Pakistani soil. So this is what needs to happen. Have Pakistan figure it out. We don't need to have any involvement in this whatsoever. Finally, you got people in that region trying to go, hold on a second, terrorism is not that good. Yeah, it isn't good when it's happening against you, is it? Is it? Early on Sunday morning, the Taliban's government defense ministry said its forces had conducted retaliatory and successful operations along the border. If the opposing side, again, violates Afghanistan's territorial integrity, our armed forces are fully prepared to defend the nation's borders and will deliver a strong response. Pakistan's media wing accused the Afghan Taliban of launching attacks to facilitate terrorism. Exercising the right of self-defense, the alert armed forces of Pakistan repelled the assault decisively all along the border and inflicted heavy casualties on Taliban forces. I was told that even the Taliban took over some Pakistani military sites. I don't know if that's fully been confirmed, but crazy stuff nonetheless. And that whole region, man, is just always something going on. Always something. I suppose people could say the same thing about us, right? There's always something going on in the United States with the progressive left attacking people, never getting along with anybody. They're never happy. They're never happy because there's a chemical imbalance. That's why. And when people think that you say things like, they look at us talking shit on them, and I suppose it's true, but they think that we hate them. I don't hate much. I hate evil. I want you guys on the left to leave us the fuck alone. I'm sorry to cuss, but it's true. This whole idea that conservatives and Republicans are authoritarian and Nazis, it just shows how stupid you are. It's not even in our ideology. I don't think they get that. To be authoritarian, you kind of need big government. I suppose you could have small government, to be truthful, but you understand what I mean. We want, when we always have been, making sure the power is with the people. That's why you want things to go back to the states. That's why we always say that your local government should have more power than federal and state government. Always said that. has not changed. You could say it has, and you could pretend in your mind and do some concocted weird bullshit that makes sense to you, but nobody else around you in this world, because there's a chemical imbalance, that makes sense. And I understand you put yourself in that position because you also think that a man can transform into a woman, which is not possible. But again, there's a chemical imbalance, and you make it so like you pretzel the shit out of your brain for that to make sense. You call Donald Trump a Nazi. The guy freaking creates peace between the Jews and the Palestinians. But again, chemical imbalance. All this weird crap going on in your head to like pretzel and spin and make sense of meaning. Donald Trump's a fascist. Doesn't do anything that's fascist. He wants to create World War III, creates everlasting peace. It's as if you almost want the left to continue to say shit. Because Donald Trump and just the world around them always turns out to be the complete opposite. Like there's going to be World War III, there's everlasting peace. The economy's going to tank, we're at record highs. You guys see that? Like maybe we don't want them to shut up. Maybe we don't want them to stop doing what they're doing. Because it's just everything that they say, just the opposite happens. We're going to be poor. Well, we're rich. You know, maybe there's something to that. Right? But again, they think because we say that stuff about them, about the chemical imbalances, that things can't happen, but they think it does, and they're weird. And I don't necessarily hate them. Just, I don't want to be around you. I want nothing to do with you. All right, let's see what else we have here in the news. Enough of me rambling about concocted freaking reality from the progressive left. And I mean, is the left even progressive? It sounds more destructive. The destructive left is what we should be calling them. Mike Johnson is in the news. Yes, the speaker. House Speaker Mike Johnson has suggested Democrats may be waiting to cave and reopen the government until after this weekend's No Kings protest. Folks, it's crazy that they're doing another No Kings protest. There haven't been kings for a long time. And like, what are they? I'm confused as to what they are protesting. People over profits, democracy over dictators, Ukraine over Putin. So, wait a minute. The left love democracy now? I thought they hated democracy. Didn't they say democracy doesn't work and we should be socialist? I can't keep up. It's like, and I don't even think they really believe this stuff, to be honest. I think they just want something to do because they don't want to go to work. Well, that's for damn sure. What's wrong with these people? LA immigrants. What does that have to do with no kings? I'm telling you, don't even bother. Don't even bother trying to figure it out, folks. They will pretzel themselves. I know I keep using the same phrase, but they will really, really pretzel the shit out of themselves to just, they couldn't tell you. I don't know why I'm asking the question. It's not like you could walk. How many on the street interviews have they done? They don't even know why they're there. They're just paid people, half of them. Internal rally documents reviewed by the Daily Wire indicate he's onto something. So check this out. On Saturday, demonstrators across the country will gather in what organizers describe as a peaceful national day of action and mass mobilization in response to the increasing authoritarian excesses and corruption of the Trump administration. I told you. Change your rhetoric, though. You guys need to change. You're the problem, Republicans. You guys are the problem in the chat. You're the reason why Donald Trump got in office. And now he's putting his boot down on the Palestinians. Oh, wait, he freed the Palestinians. He's putting his boot down on all these. Oh, he freed them too. I know it's so terrible that the guy put in Doge to stop fraud and abuse from happening in the government so you have more money back in your pocket. Yeah, I know the guy's trying to build up the military so that when some government goes usurpacious and crazy that we're able to defend ourselves. It's horrible. Oh, wait, he's trying to make sure that we have a nice trade balance with other nations. because it's the right thing to do. Oh, it's terrible. God forbid he wants to lower your taxes, but don't worry, it's only for the rich. It's not for them. Oh, it's so bad. It's terrible. The stock market's at like record high. Oh, unbelievable, authoritarian. It's so bad, so corrupt. He just wants to fill his pockets full of crypto. It's like, come on. He just signed a deal to make sure your prescription drugs don't have the middleman and are like 80% cheaper. Oh, how could he do that, you freaking authoritarian, you Nazi? He's bringing in the National Guard so people aren't deleting themselves anymore left and right. So there's no violence, so you can actually walk down the streets that your tax dollars goes to paving. Oh, how could he, you freaking bum? Oh, he's so sick. He's so terrible. Yeah, they can't go get their abortions when they want, folks. They can't just go delete people when they want. That's why they're upset. They can't commit crime anymore because they're upset now that Donald Trump's in office because he's authoritarian, I guess. Yeah. Freaking A, man. It's unbelievable. That includes a major event outside the Capitol in Washington, D.C. Johnson suggested on Fox News last weekend that Democrats were holding out for the protests in order to capitalize on the anti-Trump sentiment. Some argue that Johnson's theory sounds like a conspiracy, but documents obtained by the Daily Wire reveal the group is encouraging hosts to lock in speakers such as laid-off federal workers like national parks rangers and veterans. Really, really crazy. Wow, Bruce with the 20 memberships. That's crazy. Thank you, Bruce. 20 memberships. Bruce, you just gave $100 yesterday. Settle down. Thank you, by the way. Appreciate that. Shout out to everybody that got memberships over there. What is that? Is there a new badge? What is that? Hold on a second here. Did they change my badge icons over at YouTube? Do you guys see that? Hold on, I'm sorry. We got to deviate here really quick. They did. Did YouTube take my badge? What? Do you guys see that? Thank you again, Bruce. Appreciate it. The $20 or the 20 gifted sub. 20. Yeah, thank you. What the heck? Yo, you guys seeing that from over at Rumble? Maybe over at Rumble. Hello. Crazy, yo. Wow, I gotta look into that, dude. They changed my freaking badge. Is Rumble down? No, we're good on Rumble. Okay, we're still there. We're live. All right, settle down, Brad. Chill out. Get a little excited every now and then. Thanks, Bruce. God bless you, Bruce. Bruce is freaking putting in the heat right now. So here we go. All right. The No Kings on October 18th. Toolkit for hosts. They need a toolkit, really. Document instructs event hosts to secure compelling speakers to anchor the agenda and to aim to lock in 2 to 4 speakers who can talk authentically about the crisis we face. See, it's that idea. You have to really be somebody that's facing the crisis right now, allegedly. And I wish I can, maybe we could zoom in on this. Oh, we can. Heck yeah. Here we go. Here you go. Put on your glasses, you old people. Brainstorm and recruit speakers, laid off federal workers like national park rangers or veterans, immigrant right organizers, community leaders, nonprofit workers in spaces fighting back against ICE, people directly impacted by the Trump administration's militarization and abuse of power. Faith and union leaders, people who rely on Medicaid or other threatened services. Yeah, you want to know who's in there right now? A bunch of able-bodied men who can go out and work and get a freaking job, but they don't. Don't get me on jobs right now. Panda Express is hiring for $25. I took a photo of it. I took a photo of it. I have proof. Dark MAGA, by the way. Remind me during Dark MAGA to show you guys the proof. I have it on my phone. I went and got Panda Express the other day. I know I actually ate out for once. They, $25 an hour. Folks, you can make 52 grand. Yeah, 52. $52,000 as a service worker. What that means is you are, and you all, I joke around about this all the time, but it's real. Oh, it's real. You can scoop food onto a plate. You're not the chef. You need to understand. No, they have a layout. I know what each one is making. I know what the manager's making. I know every single one. You can make $52,000 a year scooping food onto a plate and taking out the trash and wiping down a table. I am not kidding you, by the way. And then people are blown away that a plate of food of like chicken and rice is like $50. Their minds are completely blown. They don't know what to do. Nuts. Anyways, parents and children facing education cuts, right-wing curricula, or banned books or book bans, elected officials. So no kings. Somehow no kings. No kings. Correct. They also encourage hosts to get speakers who rely on Medicaid or other threatened services. It's crazy, man. So that's going to be going on. Let them do it. You know. While we're all enjoying our lives, they're just going to be upset the entire time. You notice they're just like very unhappy people. They really are. It's like, I don't know what's wrong with them. I don't know why why can't they just be happy? It's crazy. Just enjoy life a little bit. It's crazy. A lot of things that, speaking of crazy, we have the view here. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. It's just something I want to make sure that you're all aware of as well. Well, it's going to speak for itself. Let's just play the clip. And we're going to make sure we hold people accountable. They love holding us accountable.
My point when I say I'm not going to be apocalyptic, it's not changing a tune. It's not making every single thing a 5-alarm fire. Yeah. If he does good, if he gets the Israeli hostages out, I promise I will wear a MAGA hat for one day on the show and say, thank you for doing it. Yeah. She'll knock it right off my head. But like you have to be able to cheer for wins when they happen and then call out relentlessly the wrongdoing. Well,
I mean, you heard it, right? You heard it from the horse's mouth. Just wanted to throw that at the Patriots. Yeah, when I have the headphones on, we're going to be going through a bunch of clips. That is correct. Some of you have you've caught on when Brad puts on his headphones. Now it's clip time of the show for a little bit. I wanted to see if I could find this clip here for all of you. There's this gentleman that's going around. And he is asking people about the Barack Obama deportations. I don't think I could find it. I thought I had it. About the Barack Obama deportations. And he's saying, Donald Trump is deporting 1.3 million illegal aliens and asking them their thoughts on it. And so they go, oh, it's terrible. It's despicable. I can't believe it. It's just authoritarian, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, oh, well, by the way, that was Barack Obama that did that. Donald Trump's only removed like 400,000 or something like that. And then watching them again pretzel their way into, well, it's just a different circumstance. It's different this time. So I want to see if I could find this. Give me a moment here. Sometimes it's tough to find the clips for all of you that I'm referring to because I saw it in the past and I was silly and didn't send it to myself. It's all right. We'll see if we can get it up later. That's what she said. All righty. Well, in other news here, let's see what we have going on. There's really not much, to be honest. Interesting. I don't know what this is about. Let's just see what's going on here. Home Depot expands free path to pro training amid U.S. construction shortage. Home Depot has launched an expanded phase of its Path to Pro program. Do you remember when Home Depot had a bunch of wokeness going on in their break rooms that I uncovered? It was like one of my most popular actual videos, not even shorts. One of my most popular videos ever was exposing the Home Depot wokeness that was going on in their workplaces. Offering free self-paced online courses in HVAC, carpentry, electrical work, and construction to address over 400,000 unfilled jobs in the U.S. construction sector. Well, there's a lot of able-bodied men, like I mentioned, that aren't willing to go out and work, and their parents are enabling it, by the way. Just want to point that one out. I mean, the lack of parenting nowadays is really mind-blowing. The initiative, which began in 2018 with a $50 million commitment, and has already trained more than 60,000 participants, provides digital certificates, and partners with organizations like Service Titan and the Home Builders Institute to connect graduates to employment opportunities. I would like to point out, too, I don't know how I feel about this. I'm stoked that there's an opportunity for these young men and women to get a certificate, but you're just watching a video online, it sounds like. So you get a certificate, and I'm supposed to expect you to come and build a home? Get inspectors out there, folks. Recent investments include a $10 million pledge from Home Depot Foundation for skilled trade education, targeting young adults, career changers, and homeschooling families during Workforce Development Month. So, stoked that they're reaching out to the community and doing something. I mean, I'm surprised this hasn't happened a while ago. But shout out to Home Depot. You know, hey, I'm not, like I said, I'm not totally against it. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think I'd have my antennas up a little bit, going, what's this all about? So we gotta get people back in the trades, man. College isn't for everybody, and you're taking that from somebody that's in the education system themselves. It literally does not make sense that everybody can go to college and just graduate. Mind you, they're not, but they're having to lower the bar so much in college to where now they're just replacing people's exam scores and just always doing curves. People can't pass the classes, you guys. So remember, there used to be a high school exit exam. They had to do it with that one. There used to be a college exit exam, believe it or not. Like, you used to have to take an exam in business school to get out. That was based on like basic grammar, stuff like that, and writing skills. At state schools, you had to take a college exit exam. And if you didn't pass it, you didn't graduate. They don't do that anymore. They can't. People don't pass it. So instead of just making the rigor harder and making sure that, you know, people actually have to do work and try, they just do away with things. Yeah, it's just gone. Bye-bye. Just see you later. Don't need it. Crazy. Just absolutely crazy. If you're enjoying what you're hearing and seeing, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Always appreciate you guys tuning in and joining me. It's always fun. If you haven't already realized, today is Tuesday, meaning we have Dark MAGA today. We'd love for you to join us. That is restricted to Rumble Premium members and subscribers, paid subscribers over at Rumble. So if you're not a paid subscriber, make sure you head over there and show us some love. Appreciate all of you. We have Arizona. The Democrat shutdown is bad news for food stamp recipients. Uh-oh.
That's bad news for the 1 million people getting food stamps here in Arizona. A new report from Axios says the federal program will run out of money if the D.C. standoff rolls into next month. That means tens of thousands cutting back on meals and other vital expenses to make their money last until the government is up and running again. That's bad news for the 1 million people.
You guys ever stand in line at the grocery store and just watch what people spend? You're not judging them. You're not. But I love how they're showing the produce and everything. But then you look at what this lady's buying right here, right? This right here, if you don't get this window cleaner, you're doing it wrong. This is great window cleaner, by the way. We got creamer here. You have a bag of chips, cereal, more cereal. I mean, this is what they're spending their money on, junk food. And no wonder they're like, man, grocery prices are so much. It's like, yeah, dude, you're spending it on all junk food. I don't even know what this is. I'm trying to see what this bag is right here. But it's like, there's no produce on her freaking thing, at least as far as what we could see. It's all preservatives and stuff like that. It's sad. But then they're going to show all these like people are buying tomatoes and potatoes and stuff like that, and green beans. And you got the squash and zucchini over here. And they take you again by the produce aisle. And then I gotta love this. This is actually the right one they send you down. The one that has all the cereal, $6 for a box of cereal. Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't indulge yourself every now and then, but it's about time. What were those, the EBT cards? The EBT cards that finally people were getting upset about? Let me see this. Hold on. And because they couldn't buy junk food with it anymore.
My food stamps from $2,800 down to $350. Now, what am I supposed to do? So I literally just got this piece of mail today saying that due to new policy changes from the Trump administration, all this shit, whatever, that all these cuts and whatever he's doing over there. Now they're telling me I have to go work. Now I have to go do all this. Well, I literally got 5 kids. Okay. I'm trying to sit here and spend time with them.
Wow.
I'm not trying to go work, 50, 60 hours a week so I can pay bills.
This seems, if this was what, I keep saying like 10 years ago, but no, this would be legit 10 years ago. 15, 20 years ago, I would think, oh yeah, this is definitely like a skit, do it for the Vine. This is like a short Vine video. This guy's just trolling. I can't tell anymore nowadays.
I just really don't understand. I voted for him this last election because I thought what he had good was going on, but now all of a sudden, all this policy stuff's coming out, and now he's making all these cuts, and now he doesn't want to help the less fortunate people no more.
This can't be real, right?
I'm done with that guy. I'm not. It
almost seems like satire. Let's see what people are saying, though. Sometimes they'll say, oh, this is just a joke. I work 40, 50 hours a week and still find time to help my 3 children with homework, coach whatever sport they want to play, run the parent-teacher organization, and play activities like games, catch, hikes, and much more. Yeah, well, this guy has his head on straight. Shout out to this guy. It sounds like a good dad. Just say USMC. Yeah, look at, see, Patriot, USMC veteran, husband, father. Yep. Isn't it amazing that it's just, you see a different work ethic in conservative Republican men and women than you do those on the left. Have you guys noticed that too? And we look healthier. We look happier. It's crazy that when you have conservative values, meaning a nuclear family, and you want to start a family or spend time with your wife and your kids, but you're still working and grinding, you're actually a happier person. You're doing good in society. You're living the life that you're supposed to live. If you can't feed 5 kids, don't have 5. Taking the words right out of my damn mouth. The guy took the words. Can you believe that? It's like he's running the podcast. He took the words right out of my mouth. If you can't feed 5 kids, don't have 5 kids. Working 50 hours a week to support your family is called being a parent. Correct. It's called, being a dad. Taxpayers are not your personal ATM. This is called restoring accountability. Precisely why Trump needed to do this, because these are these lazy people destroying the livelihood of those who really need food stamps. As I mentioned, you're not just paying for illegal immigrants food, housing, lawyer fees, rental assistance, yada, 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 but you're also paying for Americans food, lawyer fees, assistance, yada, 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 all these other things. I'm going to guess this is a parody done by someone who isn't good at it, but since every stupid, obnoxious person on the planet is making videos about the dumb things that go through their sprawl brains, I guess it could be real. That's exactly what I'm saying, John. It's exactly what I'm saying, John. There's more here. Look at this. Yes, brand new no EBT signs being put on convenience stores. This is what they're spending our taxpayer dollars on, folks. Energy drinks.
They really own that. They say no EBT. No, they own that. The food stamps EBT is over with. I can only buy steak, chicken, vegetables, no snacks, no nothing. I can't get no more chip. You feel me, y'all? Damn, they really did that shit, y'all. It's over, y'all. They really own that. They say no EBT.
The sad thing is people knew that they were taking advantage of it. That's why he's saying, oh, wow, they really did that. Because they knew it was going to be coming where people were tired of paying for all this stuff.
You have to stay fast now. Get down, Maria. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I can't do this. They don't take it for none of the chips. None of the chips. None of the things.
I can't bring no more.
Only these. It's ridiculous. You're gonna have to come back.
That was crazy.
Do it again.
Okay, we're only gonna be able to get the vegetables. Then we'll take it for these now. We can only get the broccoli now. The broccoli, the vegetables. This is ridiculous.
Yo, take it. Yeah.
I can't believe
Me
this.
too,
You're gonna
Mom.
have to come back. Okay, this is all.
She said, what is Sarah here? My kids and I were humiliated. And please understand, I'm not trying to be unempathetic. I'm not trying to be rude. Just by the fact that you're getting EBT, you should feel humiliated. Sometimes humiliation is good because it's the hope and realization that you could change your life. And that's what everybody's rooting for you for, by the way. I'm not saying this to be rude. I'm not saying this to be mean, but you've made decisions that put you in this place to be on EBT. And there's a lot of people that don't want you on EBT. They would love for you to be able to make your own income at a level that it would get you off of that. They think because we say this stuff that sounds very harsh, it's just called being cold. It's called being cold-hearted, but it's called tough love, really. I would not, because her success is her child's success. And it's our success too, because we're not having to spend all this money on people buying chips and taking over the system.
Dumbfounded right now. There are people that genuinely think that people who use EBT don't deserve soda, candy, or desserts. You're gonna tell me that my daughter doesn't deserve a popsicle? You're gonna tell me I don't deserve to get brownies? You're gonna tell
You can't afford it. So no, you don't deserve it. You can't afford it. This is what I'm talking about. This is the culture we've created in the United States, is entitlement. And then what they do is, oh, you're denying her daughter some cake and some ice cream. So you're the asshole. See how this works? It's always we're the assholes. It's crazy. So we're footing the bill and we're still an asshole. It's just like, you see this so often. It's like that quote, like, oh, I'm the asshole. So what I have found is when somebody else does something wrong, not saying she is, but just in general, whether you're if you're a cop or a teacher or you're somebody that has to do some sort of enforcement, when the other person breaks the rules or the law and it's your job to enforce it because the other person did something wrong and you're telling them that they did something wrong, of which it's rules that were established on behalf of you in agreement with the other person too, you're the asshole for enforcing it. And by the way, you see that in society, right? Somebody comes here illegally and breaks your laws that everybody in society has agreed upon, by the way, for the most part, in majority. Because if they didn't, then you would just change the law, right? And now you have people enforcing it. The people that are enforcing it are the assholes. So it goes down from like a small level all the way up to the federal government, by the way. It's a massive problem we have in here. But don't worry, you guys are the jerks for not letting her kid and her have a popsicle.
Tell me I can't have Dr. Pepper with my dinner? And all I'm hearing is be grateful, it's free food. Get off of your throne of entitlement and take a look around you guys. What? Everyone is one bad day away from being homeless or even needing government assistance. Do you guys not see how that makes you look? Your lack of empathy and understanding is outstandingly atrocious.
Yo, this is crazy.
I am so dumbfounded right now. There are people.
I've always said they're projectionists, man. Big time projectionist. Sam Wu says, hi, Brad. I gave you a shout out on your shorts from Melania King YouTube channel yesterday. Did you know you were on there? No, I don't know who. Did I get in? Let's check that out. I was on somebody's YouTube channel. We got time today. This is a short news day. Let's see this. Who is Melania King? I was on somebody's YouTube channel. Melania King. I don't know who that is. I was on her shorts. Link it to me. Somebody find the video. Where was I? Was I on their shorts? Sanwoo, what did you know you were there? I don't know where I was. I'm on the thing right now. Let's see this. I always like seeing where I'm highlighted. She has a lot of subscribers. What does she do? Here we deep dive into current events, societal issues, and cultural phenomena through investigation reporting. Anybody know about this? I love how I'm doing this now. Nick Sorter. Let's see.
Yeah, we've got the receipts. And every time I think something like this happens, the Democrats run the same tired playbook. Lie, twist, gaslight, and then they scramble to get ahead of the truth with their propaganda, spewing nonsense to cover for their allies in the street mobs. But guys, the tape doesn't lie. Nick Sorter was assaulted, targeted, and arrested for being the victim. Yes. And what do the leftists do? They defend Antifa terrorists and their enablers in Portland's police department. This isn't just bad policy. This is systemic rot in Democrat-run cities. This is the dystopia that they've built and the chaos they openly defend.
Get out of here! Get out of here now!
I'm trying to figure out what I was on here. I mean, she posts a lot of videos. I don't know. Maybe somebody could find it and tell me what video it is. I'd love to see what was said. Yeah, I've never heard of her either. I mean, it seems like she does good stuff. So, San, woo. You can't just say, did you know you were on there, but you didn't tell me where I'm at. Email me the link at the Ball Brad Show or find me on Twitter. Oh, that's funny. Check the chat. I am in the chat. Is it on Rumble? I'm in the chat. Hold on a second. Here we go. Wait, hold on. Everybody settle down. I am in the chat. Are you telling him to check the chat? Sea-Dog? Oh, hold up. Okay. All right. Settle down, Brad. You know he's saying that too. You know, you all say settle down, Brad. He'll get all right. Well, send it to me on Twitter or because I'll check my message on Twitter or email me theballbradshow@gmail.com. We'll check it out. Alrighty. So while we're waiting for that, hurry it up. Let's see what we have. Let's see what else we have here in the news. Let's see what we got here. One moment. All right. We have Byron is talking about the shutdown here.
No, they can't. And it's sad to see. In part, that's why the government is shut down. It's not because of any major policy fights, Stu. It's about Trump derangement syndrome. They're trying to prove to their base that they can stand up to Trump. Facts. So because of that, now federal workers are furloughed. Some are going to get fired. And there's going to be other things that are going to happen. And you have troops, TSA agents, etc., who are not getting paid. All because Chuck Schumer, Senate Democrats, and House Democrats, mind you, want to prove that they're tough to stand up to Donald Trump. Go ask Hamas how that worked.
Okay, yeah, good one.
No, they can't. And it's sad to see. In part, that's
hilarious. He's right. I mean, he's not wrong. All right, San Wu gave us the timestamp here. So let's take a little peek ski at what's going on here. So we're at 12:04. All right, let's take a little
Donald
peek
Trump.
here. Well, we're at the end, huh? She put us at the end. Oh, wow. Yeah, we are. Okay, here we go.
When it comes to padding his future campaigns, well, the wallet magically opens. These people don't run California. You know, they actually think they own it like a private corporation. Every tent, every overdose, every failed affordable housing project, they've had a bunch of these. They're all funded on our backs, taxpayer dollars, and then weaponized by these politicians. But the best part? Do you guys remember a year ago where he promised that if this problem wasn't fixed, he didn't deserve to be in office? Well, it's 2025, and guess what, Gruesome? You're right about one thing, you don't. And while California collapses, this man is dining at $12,000 restaurants, smiling for the cameras, pretending that everything's fine. Nothing to see here, folks. But we've got to take a closer look at what is actually happening under his leadership and what that actually looks like.
Gavin Newsom, the man who somehow managed to turn California into one of the most beautiful and prosperous places on earth, into a dumpster fire of homelessness and decay. Let's stop kidding ourselves, folks. This crisis didn't just happen. It was the predictable result of Newsom's reckless policies, his soft on crime, his virtue signaling. And by the way, under his leadership, California has become home to nearly 1/3 of the entire homeless population in the entire United States. Billions of our tax dollars have been wasted on the so-called affordable housing projects that cost more per unit than a decent home in most of America. You think that kind of money, we'd have solved the problem by now, right? Wrong. Instead, our streets are overrun with tent cities, crime is through the roof, and public health, quite frankly, is just a free-for-all. Newsom's response to all this? More of the same failed policies, dumping money into corrupt programs with zero accountability, pushing for more leniency for criminals, demonizing law enforcement. Here, folks, it's a complete... The rest of us have to deal with the chaos.
You hear that? That is not leadership. That is betrayal, if you've never seen it. Families are stepping over needles while he's stepping into French laundry for $12,000 dinner.
Oh, shout out to her using the content. I appreciate that. Good for her. I'll toss her a follow or subscribe. And yeah, good for her. She sounds like she has good content. She gets good views. Good for her. Heck yeah. Sounds like a very great woman. I don't know. Has her head on straight. Speaks great. I don't know. So we'll have to check her out. Maybe she follows me on TikTok. I don't know. She found us somehow. Well, thanks, Sand, for the shout out there. Appreciate you guys. Well, if you want to head over there and leave a comment, I'll post it everywhere for all of you. Head over there to YouTube and could say, oh, check out Bald Brad. Shout out to Bald Brad, you know. Sure she'd appreciate that. Give her a like as well. Well, there we have it. You and Melania should do a show together sometime. I mean, if she wants to reach out and talk a little bit of politics and culture, I would love to. I'm always open to talk with people. We just don't get any emails. We'll be back here later today for Dark MAGA. If you don't know what that is, it's where we go over more long form video. Sometimes we'll just watch an entire hour-long episode of, say, like Steven Crowder, or sometimes we don't even do that. Sometimes we just go over a bunch of different stuff. We never really know what happens on Dark MAGA, but it's where you get to be spicy in the chat. It's a little bit different flavor, man. Let me tell you. And I love it because it's more intimate. There's usually around 20 to 30 of us in there. And we spend more time in the chat. We just have fun. It really is. It's just a good time. I'd really love for more of you to join us if possible. But in order to be able to join us, you got to join Rumble Premium, or you got to join my membership over on Rumble. If not, I think our hours will be done soon. And then usually towards the end of the month, we open it up to everybody else because I want all of you to be involved. So with that being said, shout out to you guys. Shout out to Bruce again for the 20 membership donations, as well as the $100 yesterday. Shout out to Sand for finding that content. Always link me, guys. I think it's fun, enjoyable to see that we're being highlighted. I say we because it's, we're all here together. We're highlighted on somebody else's show. It's always fun. With that being said, pray for this country. Pray for Donald Trump. Pray for Charlie Kirk and his family. I saw the messaging about Charlie Kirk in the chat, by the way. And what should you do today? Read your Bible, folks. Read a sentence or a paragraph or an entire book if you have the time, or whatever it may be. But also make sure you pray beforehand that the heavens are able to give you the wisdom to understand the scriptures and actually follow suit with that action. And then maybe somebody, I don't know, Jeff or Pat or somebody in here, Karen, check on Dizzy. I have not seen Dizzy in a while, and I hope he's doing okay. So maybe somebody could check on, yes, I do know my community that well. I know all of you extremely well. When I haven't heard from you in a while, I start to worry. We got 100,000 subscribers. I know the regulars. Somebody check on Dizzy. Make sure he's okay. I'll try to toss him a thing on TikTok. That being said, God bless you guys. Take care. See you a little bit later today. Adios.